Hey guys, how's it going? It's Chloe with That Dumb Movie Show. Now today's pick is something that just premiered at the Berlin Film Festival. It's directed by James Gray, who has basically spent most of his career working with Joaquin Phoenix on stuff like The Immigrant and We Own the Night. I guess Joaquin was busy this time, but the film does star Charlie Hunnam and Sienna Miller and Robert Pattinson and Spider-Man, or Tom Holland, as he was named by birth. It's based off the work of this real-life, early 20th century explorer called Percy Fawcett, who became fixated on the idea of finding what he termed the City of Zed, deep within the Amazonian jungle. Now, you've probably not heard of the City of Zed because Percy was ultimately unsuccessful. Don't complain, history is one big spoiler. And you would think this would make for a very unsatisfying movie, but it isn't. And what is so smart about The Lost City of Zed is that it works as a complete upheaval of everything we've come to expect from these kind of old-fashioned grand adventure movies. I mean, I can pretty much guarantee at some point during this video you have thought the phrase Indiana Jones. And I wouldn't blame you. I mean, I think exploration and archaeology have become such Hollywoodized concepts. And, you know, this does have all the key elements. You got your piranhas, you got your cannibals, you got your flesh-eating bacteria. You know, it's exciting and it's thrilling and it's all blood and guts, but at the same time, this film does really challenge all the assumptions that come with that genre. Percy didn't find the City of Zed, but his belief in its existence was so radical at the time because it challenged the notion that Western civilization was the first to be established. And really, this film is about him coming to terms with the fact that he isn't journeying into the unknown here. He is journeying into someone else's known, and you know, he isn't the first man to be here, he's just the first white man, and that is the difference that his peers refused to understand. And I guess in the same way that Percy was kind of a revisionist historian of sorts, this works as a revisionist take on the adventure genre. Like, I felt like the Amazonian tribes in this were very accurately portrayed to the point that it almost had this anthropological vibe to it, and I think that really dictates the tone of the film. And yeah, it is exciting, but there's also this very reflective, contemplative aspect to it, and I think the performances are also quite low-key. I think Robert Pattinson was particularly excellent, totally unrecognizable, albeit Sienna Miller is essentially doing the same kind of supporting wife role that she is forced to do in a lot of films. But James Gray does an incredible job here of actually showing the level of sacrifice that kind of role involves. And there's a really great scene between her and Charlie Hunnam where she's basically begging him to let her go on the expedition with him. And he responds very much like, "Oh darling, I see our relationship as being entirely equal, but you couldn't handle it, you're physically incapable." And I think that kind of lays bare his own, like, prejudices and assumptions, because, you know, she points out, quite rightly, that childbirth far exceeds any pain a man has to endure. I liked that scene. So yeah, I thought The Lost City of Zed was fantastic. Like, it's such a rich and complex and mature film, but at the same time it does have all the kind of thrills and excitement of a classic adventure film, and it's definitely one to see at the cinema because James Gray makes some real good looking movies. But if you've had a chance to see The Lost City of Zed, I would love to know what you guys thought. You can let me know down in the comments below, or you can hit me up on Twitter, details down in that description box. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe so we can hang out and talk about movies. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!